Hello and welcome, I am Lord Revonworc, and we're back in Crusader Kings II. One thing I would like to mention, and I didn't notice this when I was recording my first episode, but for some reason, Fraps treats this game really differently, and it can't seem to go above 5 frames per second. I'm not sure what the reason is, but luckily, this game isn't really too animation intensive. I mean, you need to scroll in to even look at the animations at all, and well, anyways, just pointing that out. Fraps, I'm not sure what the issue is. If anybody could help me on how to, but you know, it's not important. So here we are, January 3rd, 867 CE, because in our previous nearly 26-minute episode, we were only able to make 2 days out of the, 586-year game that this is? 684 years when the new Charlemagne expansion comes out, and I am really psyched about that. Which, you know, that's another thing we should talk about. But first, let's get to this war. Looks like everybody's heading to the right place. Need to actually get the game going, you know, because need to be playing the game here. Oh, look at this. Oh, by the way, this weekend, the weekend prior to when this comes out, there was this big sale on Paradox stuff, and I may have went a bit overboard and got a bunch of DLCs, so, you know, you can see this army of Jorvik. They're Vikings, and they actually look like Vikings. Isn't that cool? I mean, no horned helmets, but real Vikings didn't actually have horned helmets. You can see that over here in Shealand and Yeland as well. And also you have proper, no, that's not the right face. Yeah, here we are. Proper Turkish looking faces for Turkish peoples. So our Khazars don't look like your typical Arabs, which they shouldn't, because they're Khazars and they're Jewish. So yeah, that's pretty neat. It was really cheap too. Got like, I don't know, 10, 20 something for $10. So let's take a look at this battle. I think it's fairly safe to say that we'll win. Although all of our troops are in one column. They shouldn't be, but they are. So we're being flanked pretty badly, but you know, not gonna make a difference because we just have so much more than them. So yeah, Charlemagne is coming out soon, and they actually did announce a release date too. Which is going to be October 14th, I believe, and it'll actually be out before I record my, before I record my 4th episode of this series, so I feel I should take the opportunity I have here and ask you guys, what should I do about it? About this series, because I'm only going to be able to record 3 episodes at the current schedule I've got going before the new DLC comes out, and the DLC has a lot of cool stuff, like the storyline for Charlemagne, and the new tribal systems, and of course, who could forget ZUN? ZUN. If you don't know anything about the DLC, I'm probably going to sound like an idiot when I go ZUN, but you know, it's going to be a really, really neat thing to see ZUN conquer the world, and I would love to do that as ZUN. I'm not sure if I'm good enough at the game yet, but God, do I want to give it a try, although I'm not going to just jump in with ZUN for... Anyways, I'm wondering, because after 3 episodes, I'm not going to have gotten very far in this campaign. I can always just start it up fresh. Wouldn't be a hassle. I'm wondering what you guys think. Should I continue Jewish Aztec conquest of the world, or should I set that aside just temporarily and instead oh, this is good. Let's see what technology we get. Cultural. Good, that's another leap towards legalism, which is good. Greater domain size. Legalism is probably the go-to cultural tech, and they're going to, you know, nerf it a little bit in Charlemagne, but you know, well, it's still the ideal tech. It is still the ideal tech. I lose the trait Deceitful, so it increased my intrigue and lowered my diplomacy. I think I'm fine with that. I mean, it helps balance things out. I mean, I wanted him to have high intrigue. He was Aleksandar, the great spy of Serbia, but, you know, and he is scarred. Even though wounded hasn't gone away yet. So, yeah, I'm just wondering, should I continue with Jewish Aztec conquest of the world, or should I start a new series when Charlemagne comes out? And if I do that, you know, what should I try? Like Visigothic Asturias? Should I just try playing as Charlemagne, or be a little more historically inaccurate and play as his brother Carloman? Which honestly I think I would prefer, because, you know, sticking to historical accuracy, well, it is something I like. I also like to change the boundaries of disbelief. Should I try a new tribal group, or should I perhaps go as ZUN? Although I probably will not go as ZUN, because, you know, ZUN is probably going to be really, really hard unless the Abbasids dissolve very quickly, which, you know, there's a possibility they might. And also, my Jewish Aztecs look so Aztec. Just so absolutely Aztec. I mean, look at that. They look like eagle warriors. Freaking eagle warriors. They aren't eagle warriors, I don't think, but they look a lot like them. I don't know. I'm not up to date on the military organization of the pre-modern Mesoamerican. Why am I trying to talk all smart like this? That just comes off seeming pretentious. As the Aztec military. I mean, their elite, of course, were the Jaguar warriors. Why am I saying of course? Nobody else knows this except for historians and people who play a lot of historically based strategy games. And that's a swift victory. Yeah, I am not going to put you in charge of... Well, then again, it is Marshall we're talking about. I'm gonna say give him a chance. Okay. So, we're currently using a tribal invasion casus belli, or maybe it's not tribal invasion because it's for a duchy rather than a kingdom, but tribal invasion casus belli are... And casus belli, just to make it clear, that's Latin for cause to go to war. And, oh shit. Oh shit, that's not good. That is most certainly what they would call not good. Okay, do you have any leaders? You have one. Having a flank that's going to be destroyed immediately will do us no help. Toss them all into the same one. And let's move this over there so that when they join up, we'll have Oh, we scared them away! That's great! It is actually legitimately very good. And I was talking... Oh, right. Tribal invasion. So, tribal invasion casus belli is... Well, I mentioned before that Nahua is a horde culture. Now, there are two main things that are distinct about horde cultures. One of them, they're locked into agnatic gender succession law, which means you can only have male heirs, which is kind of boring and also sucks. It's a disadvantage to, Oh, that's not good. The wounded modifier still has not worn off, so this'll knock my health down to 2. You do not want to have health that low. Oh! Well, that's good. Odd that they happen simultaneously. Kitty, now is not a good time. Now is not a good time, Kitty. I'm in the middle of recording. So yeah, that's one of the things about horde cultures, is they can only use agnatic succession, which means that they are only allowed to have male heirs, and, you know, it's generally not very good to have half of your dynasty completely excluded from succession, because, you know, if you have no sons when you die, that has the potential to be game over. So, you know, generally something you would want to avoid seeing happen. However, one of the other things about horde cultures is, as long as they are not Christian, and of course we're not Christian, of course we are... Oh, a mayor, good. We can probably ransom him. There's some free money. As long as they are not Christian, they get to use the insanely overpowered tribal invasion casus belli. And tribal invasion casus belli, and casus belli is Latin for cause to go to war. The thing that makes it so overpowered is it targets all the de jure land within a single kingdom that's held by your target. We've reached 100 war score, so we can force peace. And we have won. And normally it acts in a subjugation manner, which means that the vassals just become your vassals, but anything that you occupy during the war, regardless of whether or not it's within that de jure kingdom, automatically gets folded into your domain, and all you need to do is get the capital of a county, and all the holdings in the county go to you. And what these holdings are is basically, these are the valuable things within land. The best land have a lot of these. There are 3 different types. Normally, the best kind you can have are castles or baronies. There are also cities and temples, which usually will be known as bishops because, you know, Catholicism. But the correct generic name for them in terms of what the actual game calls them is temples. So rather than just getting a bunch of terrible vassals who hate us and who we are going to hate, we just get everything and we can create our own vassals. So you can create vassals by clicking on the holding and pressing this button if it's a non-capital holding within your domain, or you can simply right-click it and create a new vassal. And it's actually not something I realized you could do right when I started playing this game. I actually had to learn that from watching a Roomba play the game. So, domain limit, generally you want to always be within your domain limit. Domain is how many holdings you personally have. So, we're going to want to give away 2 provinces. Now, first of all, we just took the Duchy of Lothian. Do we have the title for it? No. That's actually good. So what I want to do is, let's just compare the value of these holdings. Okay. So I think I want to make Lothian my capital because, you know, this is Edinburgh, the capital of Scotland. We're basically based in Scotland and part of Ireland, so I'm going to put my capital right here in Lothian. Okay, that's the wrong button. Why did I press that? We make Lothian the capital. And then you know what, I'm probably going to just give away Inskall and Argyll. So what I want to do is go to this menu, Find Characters. We're searching our realm. We want people to give it to, and you can only give it to men unless you're like a Cathar or one of the other Christian heresies that allows it. In prison, no. Married, we don't really care. Ruler, we don't want rulers. We must make sure they're of our religion and of our culture would be best. And adult, you know, they don't need to be an adult. And Great House, we don't really care. And we want the ones with the highest stewardship. Why? Because stewardship increases the tax income, and that's one of the way that cultures can be spread. We're not going to be able to spread much culture just to begin with, But luckily, we're probably not going to need to. So, granting our... Wait. Giving them titles means they can't be our counselors anymore? Yeah, shut up. I don't care how poor a marshal he is, you're never going to replace him. So yeah, having high stewardship counts within your de jure realm, who are of your culture and religion. That's the ideal. And now let's check again, see if we can... yeah. Looks like we can get the same people in. Just needed to let the game tick past a month. Now, we do have another war, and, here with East Anglia, so we're going to kill them quick, but I have been recording for a while, so I should probably call it quits for this episode. Again, give me your input on where you want to see the series go. I am Lord Revonworc, this has been great, and I will see you all later!